Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, wonderful, wonderful individual. And today is a new week, so feeling the new life emerging from our own inner being. So, being gentle and elegant without arrogance, having a certain amount of grace and for example, when we speak, the way we present our communication is just as important as the communication itself. For the weight you put on words, the tones and the tonal shifts and all of this, well, it does not expose, that's not the word, but it shows a lot of inner life of a human being. So, are they aggressive? Are they joyful? Are they hopeful? Are they graceful and praising the Lord's world, ex Deo Nasimor? Or are they complaining? It is very important to listen to what comes out of a human being. What is their standard practice? It will indicate a lot of where they are in their development. Now, this we only do as to keep our own health intact, for we cannot be entertaining countless forces of annoyance and hatred and dislike and disdain. That means frenemies or people talking crap behind your back, as an example. Some people cannot live without gossip, and calumny is Ahriman's language, as I have mentioned. I think I made a whole video about that. Calumny, smearing another person's word, talking ish behind their backs, and so on. This is weakness, because why are they not focusing on their own inner being? Why are they not connecting to their own inner faculties of perception and understanding? We know why. We do not need to annoy us about that. That was just to show you that we are all in our developmental stages. We have or are going to develop even further. But if we stay still and idle and stagnant in one place, being distracted by everything and everyone, or are you using your one single-minded focus to cultivate your being so that you can understand why things occur, why are they happening, why are people behaving like that, what forces are playing within them, what kind of things are showing themselves. Just to objectively study. Because that is how we grow, deepen our soul. We deepen ourselves by cultivating. We deepen ourselves by exploring and experiencing, experimenting in a sense. The more we are capable of perceiving even the smallest hint of will impulse or emotional turmoil, or it doesn't need to be turmoil either, it can be emotional harmony and thoughtful harmony or directed thoughts in a sense. We have a lot of mysteries and secrets and riddles to be solved that, well, that both nature and the cosmos will show us when we are ready for it. You see, they are constantly observing us, listening and perceiving us, and waiting to see what we are doing with their teachings, where you are going, what practices you do, and they will either supplement you with more knowledge or they will cut it out because either you misuse it or you use it for good. It is as simple as that. They do not teach us as to become power monsters, as to become dominators, as to become. That is Ahriman's side. That is Sorath, the sun demon side. That is the black magician's way. You don't do that. Unless you want to live in a hierarchy that you definitely won't be on top of unless you constantly fight for it. Do you wish to be in a hierarchy like that? Or do you wish to be in a hierarchy where your merits is in your understanding and love, compassion and warmth for the world? That is where the hierarchy resides. They are very distinct. enormously distinct. And they are discipline, they are moral, they are they are Christ's and God's hosts. Just imagine what the heavenly hosts are like. And then you time it out times 1,000. Because we don't have the perception and the ability to perceive them fully and actually explain them and describe them with language. Why do you think they quote unquote are described so weirdly in the Bible? It's because they are spiritual beings with different forms, and they had to show themselves in a certain countenance, obviously. But it is not a human form as we do have now. This has come through earthly development, but we will shift forms again. We will not be physical anymore in the future. You see, imagine you and your thought world, your emotional world, your will world, right? Then remove your body. You don't have a body to utilize your thoughts, feelings, and will with in a conscious individual sense, but you are still there. The more we cultivate our individuality under the Christ here on earth, the more individuality we will sustain and keep after the gate of death, but only under the Christ Jesus. And for he is this earth spirit, he is the ruler of the dead, he is the karma holder, he is this earth's life. And coming under him, I would dare say, is very, very nurturing and loving. For once you embrace him every single day, the more you immerse your being in what he feels, what he thinks, what he is. And yes, we cannot even close to, compare ourselves to him, because he is the perfect ideal human being. The future most developed human being there ever is. But as you can imagine, from when he came to today, he as a earth spirit has developed just as we have. He has deepened and expanded himself even more, and hence it is more in alignment with we can actually communicate and describe him in a much deeper and a much more loving and correct sense than before. Because we, just as him, has developed his teachings, and the essence is the freaking same. We do not change the essence whatsoever. So the 10 Commandments, do to others as you wish others want to do to you. There are a few simple ones that is more than reasonable in the end. Sticking to them is the first step. It is, instead of the 10 Commandments, as we read in Conversation with God, call it the 10 Commitments. You commit to them or not. And that is the difference. Commandments was in earlier times because it had to be so. We were more connected to the higher worlds, so they more or less gave orders to our ancestors. But today we will have to, in freedom, listen to their orders, then ruminate on it, and then go do it, if we choose to. That is the difference. We have freedom and individuality today. We are becoming spirits of freedom and love after all. So, by holding yourself alive, and also, as I mentioned, holding one's being to the Christ, and practicing elegance, practicing language, practicing standing, walking, practicing anything truly that allows the Spirit to shine and radiate through you as authentic and genuinely as possible. And if there are something like insecurities, fears, or inner turmoil that we need to clear up in, we go inwards and do so. For if we do not, we will suppress it to the subconscious. It will become a physical ailment over time. For we didn't dare look at that. We didn't dare look at it when it wished to be looked at. It is our being, after all. Are we really going to run away from our own being? No. Not unless we wish to have have troubles with it, you know? It is pretty obvious when you think about it. The more we neglect our dedication and practice, and now we do not need to be extreme either. It is about taking aside 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day to focus specifically on something you have dedicated yourself to, so that you can strengthen your spirit, so you can strengthen your focus, your attention, your discipline. But we are not here to mess with our will. We are here to, it's our thoughts. Once you master your thoughts, your feelings will follow. And when your feelings follow, you are guiding and directing your whole being towards something. So if you have hope in your being, whatever actions you do are based in hope. If you are doing actions in despair or in fear, every action will have that as a result. That is why we cannot have any means to an end, for it will not be a good end. Whatever means we use will be the resulting end. So to use evil against evil will result in evil. Using good against evil will result in good. For it is not a minus, it will not go to minus in reality. Yes, it might in mathematics, but not in reality. For we choose hope, faith, love, hope, or else we die inside. If you don't have hope, we are walking dead, kind of. But it is always something you can embrace right now. But it requires us to look at a few things, go inwards, reflect upon our life, our being, and focus on our own pillar in our eye, right? Instead of the speck in your brother's eye. It is all about what you dedicate your time to. If you actively and consistently cultivate the spiritual work, you are given a certain power to speak about it, because you have it as experience, you have it as understanding. That speaks for itself. Of course, this authority in speaking, it is not truly, I am not a ruler, I'm not choosing for you, I'm just inspiring you, so you can go find out for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Seriously, don't. I'm not here to be your God. It doesn't happen. Fuck off. Sorry. But it is about, I am here to inspire. I am here to guide. I am a servant of mankind. And a beggar of the spirit is what we are. Not a king in the realm of the shade. For better being on the lowest ring on the pole in the hierarchy than being on the highest pole in the shadow world. For you already see it, don't you? The beggar is far. Even if he is a beggar, he still is in the realm of the spirit. And that is the difference. For be humble. Stay. For God is giving you and us all of the insights we need and require for life and for development and growth. And being grateful for it and knowing you would not have come this far without them. There is no possibility in it. Not a single possibility. You can say it is only you, but where would you gain that inner strength from? Where will you gain that hope from? All of these are emanations of the higher worlds. These feelings of compassion, forgiveness, hope, faith, love, even justice, judgment, courage and prudence are also of the higher worlds, although they are much more concrete in physicality in a sense. It is all about to strive towards seeing what sources of what emanations comes from where. And I will leave you with this today. It went a little everywhere, but these Mondays, always readjusting one's being back to the work. So after nice, good break. So I pray, of course, that you will be successful in your endeavors of esoteric development and spiritual evolution and unfolding. And I pray that you are provided for with all that you need to survive, live, and thrive, being creative and inspirational and healing to others so others can be the same if they choose to. And may you also be, well, protected and kept safe by the Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, and the Godhead, and the whole hierarchy. Ancestors of old and masters of old, or ancestors from every incarnation and masters of old. There we are. So, thank you so much. May you be safe. And see you. Love you. Goodbye.